this whole campaign feels so nice. It just does. It's just full of great things. And yeah, do we have our issues? Yeah. Are our issues going to go away instantaneously? No. There's a lot of work that needs to happen. A lot of work that needs to happen. I really have to say that so far, I'm really pretty impressed by Kamala Harris's campaign, and so happy that she picked Tim Walz, because that shows me, as a progressive, that she wants to make it easier for progressives to vote for her. That she's listening to the Progressive Caucus, that she's listening to people who are, protesting the war on Gaza and things like that. So I really think that's important, that she's listening to us and she's taking that into consideration. Now, is that the only reason she picked Tim Walz? No, not at all. According to, there was like an AP article, there's been other articles as well, and a lot of news agencies, that her chemistry with him was just good. And I understand why. Like, watching him speak, he's great. He's fantastic. I'm like, do you want to adopt? I'm a 48-year-old woman. Can you adopt me? Even though he's only 12 years older than me. I'm like, you can be my dad, because he's just amazing. Like, he's like the dad, like he's like that lovable guy. It's almost like from a 90s sitcom show almost, but he's genuine and he's real. And I love that for us. He brings a certain empathy and caring, like a communal caring, that we desperately need on the left, like as a whole. Because honestly, we're still pretty individualistic on our side. Me included. I am not an exception to that. But we really are, and we need to think about each other more as just human beings. But anyway, I want to talk about the fact that during today's rally in Wisconsin, in Eau Claire, that Tim Walz, while he was, talking, he saw that a man was, having an issue with the heat, right? He was, they didn't put the camera on the man at all, so we didn't see. There was this concern, that Tim Walz was like, hey, can we get this guy some help? So let me play that for you.
Look, freedom is when can we get somebody to help? Somebody's hot. Can we get somebody to help? You okay? Drink some water, folks. It is hot out. Get somebody else. Thank you. We get water?
They're so weird. They're so weird. They're so weird.
You okay? Yeah. Thank you all for helping. Grateful. Thank you. Thank you all. Take care of one another on this. This is why we gather. Look, it's hot. It is hot. I'll come again. They've got folks here. We'll make sure we're okay. But I have to tell you all again, in all seriousness, to come and gather like this, to talk about our freedoms, the ability to talk about what could be good. And I have to say, this idea of caring for our neighbor and kindness and a hand up when somebody needs it, or just the sense of that people go through things and to be able to be there when they need it, that's who we are. It's not about mocking. It's not name callings. And you see it amongst them.
And I love that he didn't just continue on, that he stopped, made sure, like asked people, hey, can you get some water? Hey, do you guys need water? Everyone needs water, everyone drink your water or whatever, because it's hot, because it's the summer, and I love that, because I cannot imagine that happening at a Trump rally. I just can't. I mean, maybe it has, but I just can't. I cannot see JD Vance to stop what he's talking about to get another human being some help. Because I don't actually think he cares about any other human beings other than himself, maybe his wife and his children. That's it. Like, I don't think he cares about anybody else. I know he doesn't like Donald Trump. He hates on Donald Trump. But he is a grifter like Donald Trump. And so in that vein, they're the same. And like Tim Walz is just a down-to-earth person. This is what the Democratic Party fucking needs. And someone like Kamala Harris. Because honestly, I really feel this shift in her tone, in her rhetoric since she became the nominee.
We fight for a future where every worker has the freedom to join a union. Union strong.
Union strong! Union strong! Union strong! Union strong!
We fight for a future where every senior can retire with dignity. A future where we build a broad-based economy and one where every American has the opportunity to own a home, to start a business, to build wealth. And understand, in this fight, as Tim Walz likes to point out, we are joyful warriors.
We need to be steadfast. We need to make sure that we help people get out and vote. We help people register to be a voter if they're a American citizen. The rhetoric of the whole rally was really just very different than if you watch one of Donald Trump's ones. You know, they don't talk about anything great. They just talk about how the radical left, the radical left wants to give everyone's kids free school lunch and free school breakfast, regardless of income. And I think that's a smart strategy. That's a smart policy. There shouldn't be this, your income bracket shouldn't even come into it. I don't care if some people that are rich their children get free breakfast and lunch. I don't care. That's okay. Because it's helping everyone. Everyone can get ahead that way.
We will continue to fight for affordable housing, for affordable health care, affordable child care, and paid leave. We believe in a future where we lower the cost of living for America's families so that they have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead. Because while our economy is doing well by many measures, prices for everyday things like groceries are still too high. You know it and I know it. When I was Attorney General, I went after price-fixing schemes. And when I am president, it will be a day one priority to fight to bring down prices. I will take on big corporations that engage in illegal price gouging. I will take on corporate landlords that unfairly raise rents on working families. I will take on big pharma and cap the cost of prescription drugs for all Americans. And continue to bring manufacturing jobs back to America. And back to communities like Eau Claire.
Paid family leave. That is something we should have that most developed countries have. We are not normal in that way. And Donald Trump wants to get rid of, he wants to lower Social Security and Medicare. He wants to lower the funding for those. And they want to strengthen that. And here's the thing. Trump is like, I'm going to deport 20 million, illegals back to their countries. You know what will happen if they do that? Shit's going to catastrophically fail in our country. Because let me tell you how migrants actually benefit us in a big, big way. They pay for our Social Security. They pay into a system that they cannot collect from unless they become a citizen. There are undocumented workers that still pay into the tax system, regardless of having a Social Security number, fake one or otherwise. Because doesn't that tell you that the government turns a blind eye to the fact that they are undocumented, but they pay into a system? As long as they're paying into that system, we allow them to be here because they know agriculture would collapse because migrants from south of the border are routinely needed for agriculture. Now, I think they should pay them better than they do because they don't pay them necessarily a good wage. So we do need better wages in this country, even for undocumented people. But we really just need to say, hey, you are here to do, if you're here to work in the agriculture industry, you're a critical resource that we still need. So we need to really think about that, Anyway, I digress. But the general feeling of this campaign is so different than any others, even different than Obama. And I do kind of hate that they keep, comparing Kamala Harris to Obama. She's not Obama. She's Kamala Harris. She can stand on her own 2 feet. She doesn't need a man to help to make her better. She doesn't need that, and we need to stop doing that. I think she has the potential to be one of the best presidents we have ever had. Because if her rhetoric on the campaign trail, if that's exactly what she tries to do, she's going to be unbelievably popular. Unbelievably popular.
And he intends to end the Affordable Care Act. And because we all remember what it was like before the Affordable Care Act, we understand what that means. That's about taking us back to a time when insurance companies had the power to deny people with pre-existing conditions. You remember that? What that was like when we're not going back. We are not going back. We are not going back. But in order to know where we need to go, let's remember the past and what that was like, because we cannot forget. On that point about the ACA, remember people with pre-existing conditions being denied, children with asthma, breast cancer survivors, grandparents with diabetes? That was no joke. And we cannot go back. Ours has to be a fight for the future and a fight for freedom. A fight for freedom. Across our nation, we have been witnessing a full-on assault against hard-fought, hard-won freedoms and rights. The freedom to vote, the freedom to be safe from gun violence, the freedom to breathe clean air and drink clean water, the freedom to love who you love openly and with pride. And the freedom of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government telling her what to do.
Kamala Harris, I didn't instantly support her. I wanted to see who she picked for her VP to understand the tone that she's going to set going forward. And she picked Tim Walz. That told me that she's in it for change. That she wants to make America better. That she wants Americans, everyday Americans, to be better. Not just get by, but to get ahead, which is important.
Donald Trump knows the direction he wants to take us. He wants to take it back. He wants to do the things that you saw, but be very clear. Don't believe him when he plays dumb. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows exactly what Project 2025 will do in restricting and taking our freedoms. He knows that it rigs the economy for the super rich. If he gets a chance to go back to the White House, it will be far worse than it was 4 years ago. Raising costs for the middle class, repealing the Affordable Care Act, gutting Social Security and Medicare, the very safety nets that protect people when they're down. And of course, banning abortions across this country with or without Congress. This is where we talk to our neighbors. Donald Trump is not for you or your family.
I have this overall feeling, and I know it's my feeling and it's okay because my feelings are important to me. So I just get this overall feeling that things are gonna be different, that she is going to usher in a change. And then maybe not overnight. I'm not saying that she's gonna become a progressive, but I think she's gonna help pave the way for more progressive people to get in to the Oval Office in the future. I do see her as that, even if she spends 8 years in the Oval Office. And I kind of hope she does. If she does well in her first term, I think it'll be much easier to re-elect her. Well, obviously, it'd be much easier to re-elect her, if she does a really good job. But I hope she does a really good job. Like, do everything you can possibly think of in that first term. I hate it when presidents think about their second term and just don't do much in their first term and then save everything for the second term because they're not worried about being re-elected. No. Be popular now. And I feel like she's not afraid to be popular. Not like Joe Biden. Joe Biden was afraid to be popular. I don't know what his deal was. I was never a fan of his. But honestly, as the days go on, I'm becoming more and more of a fan of hers. Now, I know she has her past and who doesn't. Everyone has their issues, who doesn't. No one is perfect. No one is perfect. Tim Walz, also not perfect. But you know what? He's a good guy. He may have had a DUI 30 years ago, but he stopped drinking when he got that DUI. He took stock of his life and be like, you know what? I need to make some changes. And that actually, I think is going to be helpful to him because honestly, how many people have had a DUI in this country? I know a bunch of people that have had DUIs. I never have, but I know people that have. And some of them stopped drinking when they got one. And, it was their wake-up call. These things about him are relatable. It's relatable. People do dumb things at points in their lives. And they're like, you know what? I need to change this. And he decided to change it. And that was 30 years ago. I applaud that. I like people that can do that. I like people that can look at their life and say, you know what? I need to make a change. And then make that change and then be good with it. Good for him. Good for him. And I really love the whole joyful warriors coming from this campaign. I kind of love that. No, I really love that. It's fun. It's a joyful warrior. It's something I can get behind. And I do like that he will attack their policies. The fact that they want to, basically control the doctor who's examining you. They want to be in that exam room with you. They want to, and it's just creepy. The right is just completely creepy with what they want. They're constantly worried about people's genitals. And it's like, come on. Like, seriously. And who people want to love, and it's really disgusting. I also love that Tim Walz, champion for transgender people. And that makes me happy. Erin in the morning, Erin Reed on Substack, I subscribe to her, and she is a fantastic source for transgender news and stuff like that, and also other things, but she's fantastic. So if you find her on Substack, I highly suggest subscribing to her. She's great. But she wrote an article about him, about how he has been a champion for that cause for a long time. So he isn't new to that cause. He's been a champion for it, LGBTQ rights in general. And I love that for him. I love that about him. I love that he is a caring individual, that he has empathy, and he's not afraid to show it. Not afraid to show your empathy is fucking a great trait to have. Love that. this whole campaign feels so nice. It just does. It's just full of great things. And yeah, do we have our issues? Yeah. Are our issues going to go away instantaneously? No. There's a lot of work that needs to happen. A lot of work that needs to happen. This whole campaign feels so nice. It just does. It's just full of great things. And yeah, do we have our issues? Yeah. Are our issues going to go away instantaneously? No. There's a lot of work that needs to happen. A lot of work that needs to happen. We need to stay informed. That's what we need to do. We need to stay informed, because when the election in November isn't the end. That is the beginning of trying to get this party back on track. And I feel for the first fucking time in my entire life, I feel that it's actually possible. I feel that it's actually possible to get the Democratic Party moving in the correct direction. Stop moving all the way to the right and move further to the left, where it's supposed to be. With the people, for the people. That is a party of the people. Be for the people. So far, I do feel that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz want to be for the people. So I am just imploring you to have an open mind. I'm not telling you who to vote for. If you want to vote for a third party, that is your prerogative, and I respect that. I think it's actually wrong and actually a little immoral to tell you to take away your agency and to not allow you to make your own decisions. I want you to make your own decisions. I don't need to make that for you. No one needs to make your decisions for you. You need to make your decisions for you. And all I'm saying is I think you need to consider everything and everyone. Except for JFK. Oh, JFK. I keep calling him JFK. RFK Jr. That man is crazy. That man is crazy. I was looking into him at the right when Biden hadn't even got out yet. And Jake had him on TYT, and I was like, oh, he had some problematic things, but he has some really good policies like the housing thing and stuff like that. But honestly, now, no. That man he's not a good thing. And the fact that there's talk about him dropping out and maybe joining Trump's cabinet tells you all you need to know about him. That he's not that much different from Trump. And he seems far and away different than Kamala Harris. But I'm just saying that I'm really liking this campaign so far. I just really love it. And it's not because she's a woman. It's because of what she's saying. That's what's speaking to me. In fact, I'm pretty positive she's going to win. But that doesn't mean we let up, because that was a big mistake that happened in Hillary Clinton's, as people were like, oh, she's going to win. And she's a terrible politician. And it was still close. I think Kamala Harris is a much more dynamic politician than Hillary Clinton ever could be or ever would be. I really think this is different. And I think her picking Tim Walz proved to me that she is the right choice right now. She has been proven that people have been able to push her to the left. And I like that, because we need leaders that aren't firmly in their stance if it's not where we want them to be. You know what I mean? Tim Walz, I love that he defends all his actions. He defends whatever he has done in Minnesota, all the great things he has done in Minnesota. Like, I want to move to Minnesota. She picked the right guy. And that, with him, there's so much excitement about him that just really translates so well to her campaign. So let me know what you think. I'm really curious to hear what you have to think, or read what you have to think. Please subscribe. Please like this. Please share this. And because all those things help me and my channel, and I'm trying really hard to get it monetized. I'm really close on my watch hours, but my subs are a little lacking. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and subscribe.